Okay, Priscilla and Josh, this is the tools that you'll need, and this is your key lock that you're going to be replacing. And I just want to start by showing you everything apart, and then I'll put it together, and I'll show you how it goes together, and then I'll just quickly take it apart again so that you know how it comes apart. But anyway, these are all the parts that you'll need, and of course the ones that you have in yours are all broken. This is broken and that's broken. So those are the two main parts right there that you're going to need to put back into yours. Now, this is the one that I'm sending you, and of course it's not going to work because the key, we don't have a key for that switch. So anyway, when you take it apart, there might be a little bit of JB weld on here too. Maybe just scrape that off and get it cleaned off so that there's JB weld on that too. But you can use this new paddle, so you can just toss that other one that has a JB weld all packed inside there. Okay, the JB weld should break apart. The other thing is too, this should be filled with brand new grease. This one still has a little bit of grease in it, and I'm not going to clean it off just in case we can't get new grease in yours. Or maybe I'll buy a little pack and send it with you, with the one that I'm sending you. Anyway, here's the secret that I want to show you. First of all, when you're going to be working on yours, take your lock assembly and see how it's kind of pointing that way. Your lock is pointing straight up, I hope. Hold it like that is the easiest way to do it. Just like a little gun. Maybe if you can get that finger in there or your pinky in there to hold it too, and just hold it like you're holding a gun trigger. And then keep your thumb up on top, and your thumb is going to be used later on. You're going to probably be holding that about like that, and hold it right inside there on your thumb, and that's the easiest way to keep pressure on there. If you try to go like that and hold it, you're not going to be able to keep pressure on there. So hold it like that. Hold pressure, okay? But I'm going to take that off. The other trick I noticed is, see how all these little pieces kind of have open ends? All them open ends then, once you're holding it like that, are going to be coming toward you. So at the end, when you put your clip on, it's going to come toward you like that. This first piece that you're going to be putting in, it's kind of got an open end right here after these two castles. That's going to be toward you. There's a little nipple on the end that's going to go away from you and fit in this little groove right here. Okay? And then the last piece that you put on, even after you get that spring clamped on, you're going to drop this piece on, and there's that little nipple that goes on the back end, and there's kind of like an open end that's going to be toward you, okay? So that's my little way of remembering how everything goes. So let me see how quick I can put this together, okay? First, you're going to take this little piece. First, you're going to take this little piece right here, and you're going to drop that on. So there's a little nipple on this end, and you can see these open ends right there are going to fit right on these high spots inside here. So I'm going to take that nipple, line it up with that, drop it on, press it, and kind of wiggle it, make sure it locks. And it did. It fit right on those and locked. If you want, you can kind of just press it in a little bit, make sure it's tucked in, make sure it's locked, okay? Then the second piece that you're going to put in is a spring. The spring has little latches on there that's going to catch on the bottom of that pin and on the top of that one, okay? So I'm going to drop it in there like that, give it a little turn, make sure it's locked. Okay? Then I'm going to grip it like a gun, because here's the hardest part. The hardest part is putting this paddle on. Oh, I forgot to tell you. The paddle also has like an arrow, a fat part right here and a skinnier part right there. And the skinnier part goes toward you, and the arrow part is pointing out that way. And it's got these little castles on there too, which our old one won't have, I don't think. Or maybe it does have it, and we just didn't have the castles on the bottom one. Anyway, here's the hardest part. Because I've got to put this on top of that spring, and then I've got to wind that spring around, and I'm going to have to take like a screwdriver and wind it around and drop it on the back side of there while keeping pressure on it. That's the hardest part. And I'll probably stumble doing this a little bit, just like in that other video that me and Priscilla watched. But anyway, if you keep that paddle, like the key, straight up, paddle straight up like that, that's how it's going to end up going on. If you even want to practice without that spring, you'll see that if I take the fat end out and this flat side back like this and drop it on, fits perfect. And it's locked. It doesn't spin like our other one did, because our other one was missing these two little castles on that bottom. But that's how it goes on, just like that. Paddle straight up with the keys lined straight up like that. Okay? So I'm going to put that spring back in, turn it, make sure it's locked. Then I'm going to put this on with the paddle pretty much flat. This is the hardest part, is lining it up, squeezing it down, and then putting that little key line right there in my thumb. Hopefully I don't screw up as bad as that other guy's video, but see, I'm kind of squishing that tip down like that. Now I've got to swing that tip around while keeping pressure on it. See if I can do it. No, looks like my bottom part is spinning for some reason. Take it back off. Get my nipple lined up right there. Tuck it in to where it's hitting that bottom part. Okay, put my spring on. Get the bottom part lined up like that. This is kind of hard, and it sort of takes a little practice. And spin that around to where it goes over that little kind of hard. Once I get it over there, then I squeeze it really hard. Now I don't know if you can see it on there, but I've got the spring on the other side of that castle. And I have to keep pressure on it, because now I have to spin the, you know how the keyhole is straight up and down. I have to get that straight up and down right there too. And keep pressure on there. But once I do that, it'll drop straight down.